How's it going, beautiful YouTube? Ryan here, Scooby59. It's my first moto vlog, so take it easy on me. I'm out here on this glorious Sunday to kick off my moto vlogging. And it's pretty difficult. I've never done anything like this, so I figure what's something I can talk about and show you that I think I know a lot about, or at least enough about to give my opinion. Well, that's going to be my 2015 BMW R 1200 GS, which is right there. So let's have a gander. (2015) 1200 GS. It's a liquid cooled model. It's got just shy of 25,000 miles. I've had it for 2 years now. What could I say about this bike that people haven't said? The reason I'm making this is because I think I offer maybe a younger perspective. I'm 29 years old. Most GS riders, I think, don't come in below 30. It's been a long road to get to this. This is my 7th motorcycle that I've ever owned, and it's without a doubt my favorite. I don't know if I'm going to get rid of it or if I ever will. I have a couple bikes and I could always use room for more, but I'd really be hard pressed to get rid of this one. So I picked this bike up 2 years ago. I always wanted one. You know, it appealed to me as the bike that could do everything and that you would never need another motorcycle after this. That last part didn't work out. I still have a garage full of bikes. I bought another one after this. Some people say it's the bike that does everything well. Some things not so great, but it does a lot of things great. I can attest. When you want it to, it handles like a sport bike. If you don't want it to be a sport bike, it could be a cross-country tour. I took this bike on a 10,500 mile journey across the United States from New York to California and back. And it wasn't a straight line. I curved all through every mountain I could find, some lonely back roads in Oklahoma, Texas, you know, the sunny shores of California, the mountains of Colorado. It's been through pretty much every inch of twisty road within 200 miles of New York City. And it does it all great. You know, it's got so many little things. It's thought out so well. It's got so many little things here and there that, you know, other bikes are lacking. They're just lacking. This thing is lacking a few things that I would like that other motorcycles have, but if you could find the bike that has everything, please send me a link to it, because I would like to buy it. But I'll just give you a tour of some things I've added, my favorite things about it, the things I don't like about it. And that's it. We'll see how it goes. So I can say without a doubt that this is the most comfortable motorcycle that I've ever owned. The seating position is just perfect. Let me throw it up on the side, on the center stand. I'm gonna fall off while I'm talking over here. So, I mean, what more could you ask for in a seating position? This, to me, you know, I'm not going to get into this video all the bikes I had, but the bike before this that I traded for this was a 2015 Harley Davidson Road Glide Special. And Harley jokes aside, that was a pretty comfy bike. The one thing I couldn't stand on it, well, there are two things I couldn't stand really. The position of your feet. That's so crucial. You know, I just couldn't take having my feet up here and having all my weight on my back. It just drove me crazy. I had lower back pain from riding it. I had to get the backrest. I never had a backrest before any other motorcycle, and the motorcycles after that, I never had another backrest. This thing is perfect, you know, it's got just enough forward leaning, just your body leans forward just enough take some of that pressure off your lower back, and also thanks to the foot position, when you're doing 500 miles in a day, you can just stand up, stretch out. And I can't tell you, if you've never been without that, my Harley was really the first bike that I ever went without that. And I noticed it right away, and I missed it. So I made sure the bike that I traded it for, I could stand up comfortably on, stretch out when I needed to, bring it back down and cruise all day. I mean, there's so many things all around this bike that make it great, The adjustable windscreen just by turning your hand, it's a little difficult to get this thing to go up when you're doing 70, 80. I actually found that I would have to use my left hand to push it and my right hand to twist the adjustment knob to bring it up and down. This is the stock windscreen. I had an aftermarket Aeroflow windscreen that came up to about here, and it was great on the highway. I smoke 80 miles an hour on the highway. I could have a cigarette in my mouth in my open modular helmet, and I could just on the highway, just sit there and relax, smoke my cigarette 80 miles an hour with the Aeroflow screen in the up position. So the fact that you can bring this up and down, when it's too hot, bring it back down, get all the wind in your chest and your face, and it's great. The handguards. You can say like, well, what do I need handguards for? I'm not a motocross rider. Well, you don't realize just having these here, how much wind it keeps off your hands and how much that can make a difference in your hands, especially if it's cold. And also to combat that, heated grips. That's one of those things that once you have them, you can never have a bike without it. I'm sorry. I started off riding a sport bike, nothing special on it. Triumph Daytona, no heated nothing. The only heat was from the exhaust. And I had heated gear that I got because I liked it. In New York, our riding season gets cut short every winter. If it's December out and I could find a nice 45-degree day out, I'll take it out for a spin, and having some heated gear is nice. But when you have heated grips, your threshold can go down so much. Wanting to ride in the 50s and 40s, you can ride down to the low 40s a lot more tolerably with some heated grips cranked up all the way. It's like it just flows up you. It's amazing. There's no other way I can describe it. It's just like the warmth just comes up your arms and into your chest. It's the weirdest thing in the world, but it does it. If you're any kind of serious BMW owner, you gotta add your farkles. I haven't added too much to this because some things I don't think are needed. That I see a lot of people buying up on the forums and stuff that you say you must have a headlight guard. I don't think it's necessary. I've never come across a motorcycle with an LED headlight, factory headlight, that was cracked by a rock. I'm sure those are expensive to replace, but I think that it's just not, I don't think it's necessary. My Road Glide had an LED headlight this big, right in the front of the motorcycle with nothing protecting it. I put thousands of miles on that bike and I never had a cracked headlight. Some things I do have to have though. I have to have my cell phone mount. Specifically, I use I don't even remember what the name of this thing is. Is it on the back at all? Put a little thingy up here to say what it is. But I like this one specifically. I can't remember where I found this, but I like, and you can see some plastics melted off of it from riding in over 100-degree weather. This one, because it grips the phone like this, and then you lock it in with a wheel in the back. I used Ram mounts for the longest time, but the problem with the Ram mount, they grip your phone here, and it would always hit my volume buttons on my phone and lower my volume, and that just, that would drive me insane. And also, the Ram mounts, if you hit some decent potholes and terrain, I've had my phone come out of a Ram mount, and the only thing that saved it from going down I-95 was the charging cable was plugged in, and it held it. My phone, I would have lost my phone. It would have been gone. And and Ram knows this. That's why a lot of the Ram mounts now come with that little plastic webbing to go around the back and secure your phone in so it can't fall out in the case of a hard bump. I say that, I mean, I've seen some supermoto guys on YouTube wreck their bikes down the road and the phone's still in the RAM mount. I just like this, doesn't interfere with my buttons. Once you clamp it in there, your phone's not going anywhere. Another thing that you have to get, if you have any BMW bike that comes equipped with it, with a GPS cradle, is get the Navigator. This is like one of the older ones you can even find now, the Nav 4. I believe they're on the Nav 6. And this thing is really the only time it'll save you, really. I don't like to look at the map when I'm riding around. And all of this can be controlled with the flywheel on the left bar. But this is nice. You know, I don't like to look at the map when I'm riding around because I think that's very dangerous. Keeps your eyes off the road. But where this thing will save you is right here. Fuel. Look at that. If you're in the middle of nowhere and you have no idea where the gas station is, you pull this up and this will save your bacon. Shame on me for not filling up. I learned very quickly, you think you have to fill up, fill up. Don't pass up a gas station. When you do end up somewhere farther than you meant to be and you don't know where there's a gas station, without even stopping, you can take your finger, push that GPS a few times, and know where the nearest gas station is. And that is peace of mind. Anyone who's ridden with that gas light on knows, you know, you can, I mean, some guys, you can carry some spare gas in a can, you know, do whatever you got to do, but being able to find gas instantly, especially if you're somewhere where there's no service. You know, you get up into some mountains or in the middle of nowhere, you don't have any cell phone service, good luck. You know, you'll be praying, stop on the side of the road on Google Maps, trying to find a gas station. You can update that once a year. So that's the 4. I think they're on the 6 now. I think they're up to 6. They're up to the Nav 6, and that thing is like, it looks like an Android tablet on your on the front of your bike. It looks like an older GPS. You know, I bought this on the forum for I think like a couple $100 used. In case anyone's wondering, I have my key here because when I leave the bike in my shed, I leave the key there so I don't lose it. And then I've been riding all day and I forgot to take it out. But you know, this thing works just fine. The only thing that they have, like, I've seen the Navigator 5, and the one thing I like about that one that this one doesn't do is that one will give you on the whole screen, it'll give you a mile per hour on this whole screen, so you don't have to look at your speedometer. This thing only gives you this black screen with your compass heading and a bunch of other stuff, and your speed's right here. It's a little hard to see. Using the wheel right here, I'll just click it over, and I'll usually, unless I need it, I'll just turn it off. Because you know what, you end up looking at that thing, and I can't tell you how many times I've looked at that and almost pasted it into the back of a car that stopped on the side of the road. What else can we look at? Can we see the dash? I don't think we can see the dash. The dash, you know, the dash is a dash. I do like that this bike does come with, I don't know if they all do, to be honest. This one had the premium package. I'm the second owner of this bike. But it does give you your PSI, your tire, it has tire pressure sensors in the wheels. So, you know, when you're, if you run over anything, like I've caught a few nails, that it'll give you a red warning light, and it'll show you the tire pressure. The tire pressure will supersede everything else on the screen. And what's nice is get some air and just fill it and watch it as you go. And it's pretty accurate by there. I don't have if you don't have a dial. Can you see me in my glasses holding up my camera like a boob? You know, that's, you know, you can sense, you know, if you have a flat tire on a bike, you should know, but that'll give you a warning maybe a few seconds before it happens, before you hit the flat, and that could be a big help. You know, that could save your bacon. I love the center stand and the single-sided swing arm. This was also my first bike that had a single-sided swing arm, and it's so easy to access the wheel, especially if you have a flat. Like, I've gotten a few flats, and whenever I go, I know I'm going more than an hour from my house. I carry a plug kit. I'm not going to get into the whole plug debate, but if you do want to plug your tire and you feel comfortable with it, it's right here. You just throw that tire in neutral and you can just spin it until you find your leak, plug it, and ride on if you're comfortable with that. If you're not comfortable with that kind of stuff, then you got to do what you got to do. I'm comfortable with plugging a tire, and I've done it several times. It's nice to have the center stand and have total access to your wheel, so you can get to that. It sucks trying to get this thing up on the center stand when you got 100 pounds worth of extra gear for camping and stuff on long trips. You just throw it off real quick. Something that I added after I got it was these crash bars for the engine. Obviously, if you buy a Boxer BMW, especially an adventure rated one, you got to protect these beautiful cylinder heads. I went with the Motex because I actually saw another rider who had them, and I said, "Oh man, those I think are the best looking ones, but they have a second function that the BMW ones can't do." I'll show you. Highway pegs. Look at that. And standing up on the pegs doesn't do it for you anymore. Just throw your feet up on there. My feet just sit perfectly right up in front of the crash bar here. And now you got highway pegs. If you're gonna go with any crash bar, I would go with the Motex. Never had to test them. If you're wondering what that is, that's actually scratches from a tie-down strap that the ratchet was rubbing against this for almost 1,000 miles and just ate through the paint on there. I need to take care of that before it starts rusting. Shaft drive, that's a big plus. I love not having to lube a chain. God almighty. It's just one less thing to worry about. What else could I say about why this bike is great? It's a pretty looking bike. I think they did the liquid cooled stuff, you know, they really made this bike a lot more attractive than it was the previous generations. I mean, that's a bike that any man in his mid-30s to 40s can get on and say, man, this is a practical motorcycle. I joke. It handles amazingly. This thing rips like a sport bike. I've kept up with Ducatis, but I have a bunch of friends that are all die-hard sport bike guys. They laughed at me when I bought this. And we go ripping around, and I can keep up with the best of them at my rider level. Bike to bike, it stands up on its own merit. Rider to rider. Ugh. Let me tell you some of the things I don't like about it. Come on, BMW. Self-canceling blinkers. An $8,000 Harley-Davidson Sportster has self-canceling blinkers. Not that, oh, I need self-canceling blinkers because I'm a yuppie, but this bike brand new is $20,000. You'd think it would come with self-canceling blinkers. Some LED turn signals would be nice. They go through all the effort of putting that beautiful single-sided swing arm. They put the exhaust right in front of it. I know there's probably some German engineering reason for that. I think single-sided swing arms are 50% practical, 50% aesthetic. They look good. Why would you cover that up with that barf can on there? It drives me nuts. Another thing I could tell you is that BMW side cases are terrible. That's why I didn't get them for this. I bought, as you can see, I did buy the BMW top case. I actually bought, I can't even remember the name of the brand. Tusk panniers. I bought Tusk panniers because they were the cheapest and they came with a bracket, the rack to put them on. Most of those ones you go on, they're like $500 a box, and then you gotta spend $300 on the rack. The Tusk came with everything. They were great. I really liked them. The only thing I didn't know was you lose the passenger pegs. I had to take my passenger pegs off for a year when I ran this system. I ended up taking them off. I haven't put anything back on because I'm not doing any long cross-country trips anytime soon. So I can survive with just the top case. The main reason I went to the BMW top case was, one, I wouldn't need to buy a rack, because if you buy any other top case, you got to buy the rack for it. That's $100-something bucks. And the BMW case is keyed to the motorcycle key. So that's nice, because I had the Tusks, and I didn't want to, I already had my bike key and my Tusk pannier keys, and I just didn't want a third key for this. So they keyed this up at the dealer. These things come off, like, you just pull this red tab here, pop this out. That's it. this thing's off. Run it clean without it. I gotta be honest though, this thing is so useful that I have never found a reason not to have it. You know, it looks pretty dorky on the back, like, but you know, you can't beat having the storage. And the BMW one also, I need both hands, but so this will move up in size quite a bit so that you can put bigger stuff in it. Mechanically, this thing it's been unbelievable. If I could tell you right now, there's a bike that you could get on tomorrow and go to One Ocean and back, a BMW GS. There's other bikes that can do it, but I could tell you that a BMW GS will do it, and you will have fun on it the whole time. I did not have a single mechanical hiccup the entire way. None of my electronics failed. Nothing broke. This thing runs just the way when I picked it up off the showroom floor, pre-owned at a dealer when it had 10,000 miles on it. It runs the same way. I've gone through 5 sets of tires on it. You know, it's just mechanically, it's a beast, you know, and I've heard it described as like a tractor. Tractors are usually reliable. This thing's reliable. I would take this thing anywhere. If I didn't have to go to work for the next month and someone said, let's go meet up in Santa Monica Mountains, I'd throw my bags on and be there as fast as I could. You know, I haven't had anything go wrong that I could even think. I can't even think of anything. This thing has been flawless, absolutely flawless. And I've had several motorcycles where that's not the case. Brand new motorcycles that I've had to take back to the dealer numerous times to get certain issues fixed. You get them worked out eventually, but this thing has never, the only time this thing has seen the dealers were the factory services. That's it. It's never had to go to the dealer for anything else. And that kind of peace of mind is, you know, it's hard to put a price on it. Well, it's not hard to put a price on it. There's a price on it, but it's worth every penny. I've put about 15,000 miles on it, and I want to put another 15 more, a lot more. I've thought about selling it. You know, sometimes I could use some cash, and this thing's worth some money, but I forget about that every time I step on it and I go for a ride. Those are the main things. I could sit here and talk about the displacement and all the little nuances, but really, like, those are the things that are a big deal to me. It's pretty much all I got. I want to do some more videos with the GS and my other bikes. I want to kind of push this thing where you don't really see people take it a lot. You know, most of the guys I think that vlog on these things are older. They're commuters. They get out there, but I want to take this thing to the racetrack. I am not a dirt bike rider. I want to throw some knobbies on, vlog my first dirt biking session with these. I used to ride ATVs, but I haven't ridden an off-road really vehicle in years. So I want to throw some knobbies on it and take it for a nice dirt ride. Well, that's all I got for my first vlog, guys. If you have any other comments that you have a GS or different things about it, let me know in the comments. You know, let me know what you think of my vlog. I know this is not a great way to vlog. I've seen great vloggers. I follow a lot of, I think, great ones, you know, like you know, Everride, Shade Tree Surgeon, Sub D, Fooligan. I love all you guys, and I want to be a freaking moto vlogger just like you guys. So, you know, this is my first one. Constructive criticism is always welcome. Thanks for your time. Peace.